G'day. Tonight we're looking at new videos Supreme Court of New South Wales put out on YouTube publicly. The heading is Australia's new anti-money laundering counter-terrorism regime. Australia's new regime. That's the heading. So I got stuck on the word regime. So I looked it up on etymology. A regime, system of government or rule made of management. Latin, to direct or guide. In French, a system of government that prevailed before the Revolution of 1789. Pi root, move in a straight line. So regimentation, act of forming into regiments, state being formed into classified systems. So in etymology, regiment is to form a regiment with proper officers to bring under a definite system of authority. Trends of regimentation spiked in the late 1940s. So back to the Supreme Court content, starting with introducing the speakers, their experience tells much, and how they have previously been involved in this regimentation. I'm showing you how I see this Supreme Court example. The less nasty surprises we receive, the better we cope. So knowing is enough. We don't need to necessarily have an emotional response to everything. So is this video really about controlling criminal activity? You know, I did hear previously that they're going after lawyers. I'm not sure if this is relatable. And the other thing that I noticed was the way they used the term trust management. So for anyone who has studied the SESCV Trust Fund, they will find how they've used the term trust management laughable, quite possibly. So due to my own experience, I'm inclined to surmise the Supreme Court vid as smoke and mirrors. It all sounds legit. I broke it down to mean, 1, they want no banks outside the regime. Control, making it a little more difficult for people-owned banks. 2, anything anti-terrorism has had extra legislation added and turned against the average Aussie. And this, what they're talking about, they've been very vague in many pockets. And also the controlling factor in this legislation is from a foreign entity. So I don't think taking orders from foreign powers is in line with the Commonwealth Constitution of Australia Act 1901. However, I think the regime discounts the Constitution interpretation for their own take on their constitutions, or their own interpretation of the Constitution. Your views of things may be different to mine, but it causes no one any harm to keep the love. We are law-abiding citizens, so trying to keep up with all the changes in law can be a bit of a mission. And trying not to cause offence also relates to PTSD in society. So many taxes and fines, etc., etc. How much time are people taking to avoid breaking regime rules? There's road rules and traffic fines, business guidelines that people have to follow, or new business guidelines, so the changes that have to be made. So many new things you can't do anymore. You have to pay your bills on time, or you can get massive penalties. You have to make sure the money's in the bank for an auto deduction, or get a $30 tax from the bank for inconvenience. I question, are we in survival mode? And are these the reasons we seek a different, freer life? I do class myself as retired from taking an emotional stance and fighting, as my path has led me elsewhere. Although I do obviously keep an eye on things and have great respect for those who follow their own path and where it leads them. I just think there is enough drama and conflict in the world, and the more that we can emotionally handle things with a sound mind, the better off we will be. Now, I'll put the Supreme Court video in the discussion description for you to have a look at, and you might see something different to what I see, but that was my general summation and how best to cope. So I hope you all have a lovely evening, and I'll catch you another time. Obviously, I'm in my Winnebago. I'm travelling at the moment, so that's the view you'll see behind me. Okay, see you later. Bye.